Greetings. My name is Michelle Black, and I am the author of Storage Stories, which is a book of short stories about people who rent storage units in downtown Toronto. And this is one of several readings I'm going to be doing from chapters from the book so that you can get to know the characters and possibly want to dig in more deeply and find out more by getting a copy of the book. Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Storeytime, where I read from a chapter of my book, Storage Stories. I had already picked an outside setting, but I picked another one today, which is my back patio. It being Labor Day long weekend, there may not be many more weekends where we can be out here. So, nice place to read for now. If you happen to hear cicadas in the background or see some hornets buzzing around, you will know that it is the end of summer, but that it is a hot day. Hot day. All right, here goes. His talent on the ice and prominence at the arena had also been why his parents had let him hang on to every pair of skates he'd outgrown, another beloved collection along with his LPs, CDs, and other musical memorabilia. But once his sisters had started to have kids, was he able to keep his army of beaten up but beloved skates, some of which he had long before they'd moved to McCormick's? No! What if one of the grandchildren or great-grandchildren come over and hurt themselves? Belt, his mother, was adamant. If he wanted to keep them, they would have to join his sports and music memorabilia and collections at Easy Storage. So, Timo had hung up his 3 most recently worn-out pairs of skates on his bedroom wall. He had to replace them every year, even though the size no longer changed. The other dozen or so pairs occupied 3 clear plastic containers. He'd gotten see-through ones, so he'd know which ones were in each bin. They were tucked behind the place of honor held by his LPs and sports collectibles, but all this was still stuck behind Simon's boxes and his parents' more recent arrivals, which had themselves been removed deeper into the locker behind his brother Simon's belongings. It was on his way to add another pair of worn-out blades, flushing as he thought about his skills as a skater and the respect he'd garnered from the local parents and kids, that Timo discovered the rearrangement. His face turning a rare white, he kicked one of the bins. Why are Simon's things in front and mine sent to the penalty box? His mother, of course. While Timo knew that his parents loved him, he also knew that Simon would always be the favorite. Indeed, in contrast with the comic potential of Timo's name, his brothers ended up more definitively with mon, mine. So it was no surprise that in an effort to somehow karmically will her eldest to come home from Vancouver and visit, which he had yet to do even once, Belt had gone to the locker and, by herself, managed to have their more recently arrived things switch places with Simon's, so that all his furniture and crates were up front, carefully placed as if ready to be moved out any time, whereas Timo's skate crates had been relegated to the back with the rest of his stuff. It was as if, by making Simon's stuff so easily accessible, his mother would magically compel him to return. Want to know more about the story behind that? Does Simon actually come and get his stuff? Does it continue to stay at the front of the locker? Pick up a copy of Storage Stories. Right now you can get 25% off on Amazon. The ordering information is in the comments. And I hope you've had a wonderful, long Labor Day weekend. Bye for now. Oh, almost forgot. If you are in the Scarborough area or thereabouts, there's going to be a book signing at Indigo in the Kennedy Commons. I'm having it on September 30th, Saturday, and it will also be celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the book being released. So if you're around, I would love it if you could join me, and if not, come back here. You'll get to see some virtual footage. Thanks very much again.